Chicago's nicest neighborhood with all the nice buildings. Go Chicago, so run so well. Yep, this is the way to go. Stay woke, guys. There's everybody fighting each other right there. Why are these kids fighting each other? Like, please explain to me.
I hope that person doesn't die. Like, is anyone gonna stop this?
No, I mean, I don't know if anybody's gonna stop it, but I mean...
Like, why are you filming? Can you, like... That's terrible.
Happens like it should have, it happens. So these kids just got out of school. This shit happens like it should have, it happens. I want to believe that this shit happens like it should have, it happens. So these kids just got out of school. Now they're all fighting each other. And this is Friday. So it's Friday around 3 in the afternoon. And there you go. There's everybody fighting each other right there. Why are these kids fighting each other? Like, please explain to me.
I hope that person doesn't die. Like, is anyone gonna stop this?
No, I mean, I don't know if anybody's gonna stop it, but I mean...
Like, why are you filming? Can you, like, do something?
No, what do you want me to do? Their parents aren't gonna do anything, so what do you want me to do?
No, where's the... Oh, my God.
Well, I mean...
Where's the police?
The police are too busy downtown at that shooting from the other day. There you go. Now the bus driver came out to, there we go. You go, baby girl. You try to, yeah, whatever. There we go. That's just the kind of stuff that happens every day here in Chicago. There you go.
No.
Get the fuck out. Yep, there you go. Chicago, baby.
Chicago in the springtime. Get some fresh air. Oh, look. My 2020 census form came. Oh, hey, neighbor.
You dirty shithead!
Chicago in the springtime. Get some fresh air. Oh, look. My 2020 census form came. Oh, hey, neighbor.
You dirty shithead!
Chicago in the springtime. Get some fresh air. Oh, look. My 2020...
Megan Hickey. Megan.
Right, Jim and Brad, we're about as close to 35th in Michigan as we can get as barricades still surround Chicago Police Headquarters, and that's as some city leaders are joining that call to defund police. What does defunding the police mean to you?
Well, over the last 10 years, we have seen a body of research come forward that shows that the best way to keep our community safe is not by investing more in policing, but by investing in after-school programs, job programs, mental health services.
Alderman Carlos Ramirez Rosa is joining the cry to rethink policing, one day after Minneapolis' city council announced support for disbanding the city's police department.
Our commitment is to end our city's toxic relationship with the Minneapolis Police Department.
Yesterday, the mayors of New York City and Los Angeles also vowed to divert funds from their police. As of this afternoon, Mayor Lightfoot has not made any such pledge. Alderman Ramirez Rosa thinks that's a mistake.
Absolutely. It's time for Mayor Lightfoot to join the national conversation and to stand with other big city mayors and say, it's time for us to get serious about public safety, follow the science, follow the data.
In the 2020 budget, $1.78 billion went to the Chicago Police Department, about 15% of the city's total budget of $11.65 billion, and more than 70% goes to the department that handles patrols. Would you have to cut jobs?
If we're forced to cut a budget, at some point in time, it actually may come to diminishing the basic services that we provide for our citizens.
Chief Mitchell Davis, whose organization represents more than 300 police departments in the state, says that in order to appropriately respond to defunding questions, they'd need more specifics, but acknowledges that there are many city services,
like dealing with mental health issues or homeless issues or substance abuse issues,
that probably should be transferred outside local police departments. And that's something that the Illinois Association of Chiefs of Police is interested in discussing. Now, Rosa is not alone. 33rd Ward Alderman Rosanna Rodriguez also came out yesterday in support of diverting funds from the Chicago Police Department.
Megan, the aldermen there, a growing number of them calling out the mayor to make some type of stance on this. The mayor said she does not have any plans to defund the police or to actually not defund per se, but put that money elsewhere. What was her response today?
Well, we thought it was an interesting question today, given that over the weekend, both the mayors of New York City and Los Angeles came out with pledges. Today, she didn't really answer that question head on, more so talking about some of her history of funding these types of social programs. She spoke specifically about the Invest Southwest initiative, which pledged $750 million in public funding over the next 3 years. Live at 35th in Michigan, Megan Hickey, CBS 2 Investigators.
Megan Hickey, thank you.
Great. Well, Carlos, thank you so much for coming. You're running in the 35th ward, which unfortunately I just moved out of. I moved into Rosanna's ward.
Hey,
Yeah.
that's an upgrade.
Yeah.
Well, when Rosanna's alderman.
Yeah.
Right now it's a downgrade.
Me and Rebecca swapped, so it's fair, 1 for 1. But I feel like I have a kind of different relationship to you than I have with the other people running, because before I met you, I had a cutout from the Chicago Reader with your face on it that I hung on my wall. It was a very good picture, and it made me feel a lot of feelings. And then I met you.
Me too.
Yeah, I'll give you a picture of me, and then we can make sure it's even. But you're still a person, and I feel like it's, especially in kind of the Chicago left community, you play this dual role as like you're the socialist alderman, but also you're probably just trying to live your life, right? Is that weird?
Yeah, I mean, I think public life is very interesting, right? I think people read things about you in the newspaper. They hang up the cover of the Chicago Reader.
They find you at a restaurant and they wave hi to you, and then they're like, oh no, Carlos was probably just trying to like eat his pozole in peace, and now he has to deal with me being like, hey, you don't know me, but I know you.
You can actually like get a sense of people's politics, like whether they smile or scowl at me. And I will say, interestingly enough, older white men, a lot of times they scowl at me. They're like,
that's a fucking racist comment.
Because they're jealous.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I've realized that, especially in this
Yeah,
age
they're
of Trump,
fucking jealous.
So much is like signaling, right? And so one of my supporters the other night, actually at Jeanette Taylor's fundraiser, was telling me that she was at this barbecue early in the summer, and that this guy at the barbecue just went off on this tirade and was like, Carlos hates me because I'm white. And like, he's never met me before. And this was just a perception that he built up in his head because of the strong stances that I've taken in defense of, immigrant communities, because of my stances as a
Because you talk shit about white people.
And so I think that, particularly when politics becomes depoliticized, right, and it becomes this culture war, right, of like, are you for the war on Christmas?
Wait, are you for, what are your feelings on the war on Christmas? Carlos, answer me. Are you with us in the fight?
I am totally pro-Christmas. Yes, thank you.
Don't clap for that. No.
No, listen, I love the baby Jesus. And it's cold, and we need some warmth in our lives during this season.
I'm an avowed Scrooge, and I was really upset because I joined ESA and I was like, finally I'll be among people who also hate Christmas and all that it's about, the capitalism
it's all
of it.
About war and Christmas.
And I don't know if Lucy is still here, but Lucy's the biggest Christmas fan I've ever met in my whole life, and I'm upset about it.
We have bonded over that, actually, Lucy and I, so...
Yeah. There she is. Okay.
Actually, I'm here to announce the formation of the Christmas caucus.
Okay, well, if you just brought it there, I have a lot of questions that I could ask you about caucuses, but I want to let you finish. I want to let you finish talking about kind of the people that you meet.
So I think that right. So when politics becomes like, do you believe that football man should or shouldn't stand up, to the national anthem? We begin to experience, real things that are happening in our community through this frame that leads to those types of misunderstandings. And so, I think that that's why there are some people out there that, because of my outspokenness, because I've been such a champion on so many issues.
All right, I'm going to quit listening to this, but you can look this up yourself to finish listening to this nonsense. This is the reason why Chicago has such a high crime rate right now, is because of moronic policies by racist.
On someone in public. This as the city grapples with the rise in violent crime. Shootings are up more than 80% from last August. Police Superintendent David Brown on the disturbing trend.
Violent offenders have acted with impunity, much more than we've seen in the past so far this year. And I think 51 officers being shot at or shot in 1 year, I think that quadruples any previous year in Chicago's history. So I think there's more than a suggestion that people are seeking to do harm to cops.
Joining me now is former police officer and Chicago Alderman Anthony Napolitano. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
This is a really distressing and scary story. And it goes along with that rise in violence that we have been talking about in Chicago. Let me ask you, do you talk to cops on the street there now? What kinds of things do they say, and what do they need?
Yeah, I talk to cops on a regular basis. Where I live up on the northwest side, it's known as Copland. This is where mostly all your police officers and firefighters and city workers live. They realize what's going on. We've all been saying it as a group in a neighborhood. The last 5-8 years, this anti-police movement, this defund the police movement, has created a brazen attitude with criminals in the city of Chicago. And we knew then that this is what it was going to bring. We knew that criminals were going to be so emboldened to put bounties on police officers. We saw this coming and we warned people of it, and it fell on deaf ears. And now we're dealing with this just ridiculous ideology to defund the police, asking to take money away from the police. We need more police officers on the street. These police officers are scared.
Specifically, let me just ask you on that front, because specifically, there hasn't been a movement necessarily in Chicago in the budget to defund police. And Lori Lightfoot has said that she is not behind defunding the police. Do you mean it's more of the sentiment around the country that contributes to that, or what are you saying?
I believe it has a lot to do with the country, but let it be known, there are aldermen in the city of Chicago that are pushing to defund the police. I'm very proud that our mayor stood up against this and is supporting this not to happen. But you have aldermen getting ready to go into our budget in October and to pull funds away from the police officers. And they're selling false hope to communities like the city is going to create businesses with this. That's not what we do. Budgeting goes towards an umbrella to protect businesses and citizens in the city of Chicago. So in turn, we get more businesses to come here. We're losing businesses because there's no security here right now. They're selling false hope to people, and this is wrong, the way they're going about doing this. So, we have, I'd say, up to 10 aldermen that are pushing this.
When you see the uptick in crime, what is it that officers on the street say that they need? What would turn this around?
We need help. We've been saying it for day one. Bring in the National Guard. We did it in 2012, but we had NATO in the city of Chicago. We brought in federal help. We brought in the Department of Defense even to help us. And at times people say, well, that was help to protect the dignitaries. Well, how about we just protect people? How about we protect businesses? How about we stick up for our city and protect our city?
Exactly.
Well,